Hi boys and girls, it's me. And I'm in the lair. If you hear some background noise going on in the background, I have a space heater going on. Because right now it's like 23 degrees outside, and right now it's about 20 after 11 Sunday morning. 5 o'clock this afternoon we're supposed to be getting between, I think the last time Miss RW just reminded me, it's between now and Tuesday morning, between 16 and 21 inches of snow. So this is going to be substantial. And if you notice, I'm wearing 741. This is the official 741 channel t-shirt. So if you want to, after you watch this video, go over and check out N1NUG, Rob's channel. And I did a live feed with him a little bit while back, and he put a couple videos up with me and a couple other ham radio fellows, and we had a lot of fun doing it, and I got to meet a couple of them, and it was kind of fun. We did like a Zoom type thing. So if you want to, after this video, check out his page. And along with 741, I also have a friend out, and I believe he lives in Michigan, the Radio Geek, and he has a channel. And both 741 and the Radio Geek do something that I've never done before, and that's why we're here right now. I'm going to review a radio. Yeah, somebody came across my page and sent me an email and asked me if I wanted to do a review in exchange for a free radio. So I said, well, you know, sign me up. I'm good for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this guy up into, I'll show you the radio, but we're going to break this up into different categories. And I hopefully I could hold my end of the deal up. That's as good as 741 channels and the Radio Geeks channel as well. So okay, here's how I'm going to kind of rate the radio, so to speak. We're going to do this in 5 categories. First category is playability. How well does the radio receive stations on each band? The usability, or the ease of the functions of the radio itself. The sound quality, enough said. How does it sound? The build quality. You know, does it build rather well? Is it kind of looks like it's going to fall apart in your hands, kind of thing? And then last but not least, some of these radios nowadays, they build little gadgets and things into them. So for lack of we'll just make it into a generalization. We'll say it's an ancillary function, and it's the functions that are added to the radio itself. Okay, and then the overall score will be down on the bottom here. And you can see I took a remedial art class here, but those are radio tubes. So 1 radio tube means it's poor, and 5 radio tubes mean it's excellent. So we're going to give that a rating for each of the 5 categories, and then we'll come up with an overall score at the end. And then I'll just say whether you know, for $19.99 and on Amazon, is this worth the money? Yes or no? Okay, and then we'll just take it from there. Okay, here's the box. So let's give it an open and see what we got here. Okay, let's have a look and see what's inside here. Oh, that was easy. Folds down. And this must be the radio. Put the box over to the side. Oh, and there it is. Let's see if we can back this out a little bit and there we go. So that's the radio itself. And you can see we have our 3 bands there. It looks like it's analog tuning, which it is. And it's probably just another chip radio where everything is on pretty much 1 chip, and may have an auxiliary chip for an audio, for the audio. That looks pretty nice looking radio. Oh, look at this. We got a light in here. That's kind of cool. Alright, there's a switch here on the side. What does that say? Off light. SOS? Okay, well, we'll find out what SOS is in a little while. Okay, let's see what else came in the box here. We've got Free activate accident protection program. Okay. So just like anything else you buy, whether it's your $20 radio, your $2,000 stainless steel refrigerator, you can always buy a protection plan with it. And oh, what's this? Best ever offer. Free gift. So this is a scratch thing, and oh, here's something I guess you can scan on your phone, and then you find out what that warranty is. So this might be a part of an extended warranty plan for the radio. What's this thing here? Oh, instructions. It's the user manual. Let's open this up here if I can. Oh, opens the wrong way. And God bless, they're in English, I could read it. Oh, it shows your specifications right here. Okay. And has some tips in here. Selection of radio stations, auto alert mode. Push the function button to alert. Oh, that must be part of the weather band thing. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, and you know what that is? Minute flashes. Okay. We'll figure it out. And then the flashlight. And what else we got here? It's just your install the battery, pull battery. Oh, okay. Make sure the battery's in the correct. Alright, we'll check all that out. And then what else is in here? Oh, you know what this is probably? Oh, here's another paper. Oh, that's part of the shipping. That's in case I have to return it. And this must be, oh, okay, there's the charging cable. So you've got the USB connector on this side. And then the port, which has the matching, there it is right there, DC 5 volt. So this is the charger. I'm starting to like this radio already. I didn't even have to turn it on. So it's a rechargeable radio. So you don't have to keep buying or spending a fortune in batteries, which is kind of nice. Let's take a look at the battery. Oh, there was a tab in here that just fell out. And this must be the battery. Let's see if there's any writing on it. Oh, there it is. Okay. 2200 milliamp hour. 3.7 volt, 8.14 watt hour. That's a big hocking battery. And I would bet you this thing would play for quite a while with that battery. I mean, even the flashlight I would suspect is probably an LED style flashlight. So you know what, this radio, well, we'll find out how good or bad the radio is in a second, but at least, this would be a good, oh, we even have a headphone jack here. It's probably for stereo, but no headphones came with it. So, okay, so you can run this off of headphones. This would be a good radio for like camping or hiking, or if you were traveling and you had to take a long trip somewhere. I think this might fulfill the ticket here. So now, let's just see what we got here. Oh, so we got the 4 bands right here. Because there's a glare here. It says FM, AM, weather band, and alert. So let's just check each here. Let's start with FM. Turn this on. Let's see. Oh, maybe that's the tuning. Oh, here's the volume control here. I don't know why that's blinking, unless that's part of the alert. Or maybe it just wasn't tuned in all the way. I do like the blue light rather than red. Blue or green works for me instead of the red or the orange. And something here before I get hammered here. with the thing. The sound quality is actually pretty good.
Large apartment buildings and diversified in 18 prime developments, avoiding stock market risk. Do the math with us.
The fan sent you.
Beachcombing, baking cookies, learning from...
You know, as with any other chip type of radio, and it's analog, it's like, it's really, in a way, I'm still trying to get used to it. But you just have to move...
To answer all your questions.
Move it over just slightly. Very, very slowly. And I guess it has like either, it almost emulates, or maybe it is like a phase lock loop thing.
Way lower prices. Lidl. Suspiciously low.
You know, this is what's really impressing me a lot right now with this FM. I'm in a basement, okay, in my house, and I have aluminum siding, so I'm literally sitting in a Faraday shield. And this thing is actually pulling in some, let's say that they're not that hard to get, but they're kind of sort of harder to get FM stations for certain radios. And this thing is just pulling them in with like very little problem.
Gear strapped on. We're just about ready to go here. Nico Aguilar just warming up.
I went into
and the sound is really, really good. All right, let's try AM. See how good AM works here. There we go.
I can offer no money down leads for just $169 a month. That's right, $169 a month.
Therapy and chemo now has terrible neuropathy, pain in the hands and the feet.
Did you know a vehicle is stolen once every United States? Adds up to over $6 billion.
New Jersey. Out there, the roadways will be messy for the next probably 48 hours. Next traffic update less than 10 minutes away on WCBS.
And those flakes will begin to fall in the mid to later part of the afternoon. We will have snow arriving by the early part of the evening, lasting through to Tuesday, 12 to 18 inches across most of the tri-state area. Right now, 23 degrees in Central Park.
Well, I wasn't kidding you. There's proof right there.
That retirement is on your mind. You're one...
And every first Zoom meeting into the pandemic.
Hello, 1-800-961-9... that.
Well, I'm kind of cheating in a way, folks, but let me tell you something. I actually had this radio out last night, and I wanted to see how good this thing was good at DX on AM. And, you know, it does a really good job at the local stations, although I was able to get WSB in Atlanta from the central New Jersey area, so it can DX, but I wouldn't consider this radio a good DX machine. However, maybe if I was outside, if I had an external antenna, it probably would do better.
Oh. And...
You know, like I said, I'm kind of in a Faraday cage here.
I'm not going to have to worry about going back and...
Well, it seems to do an okay job in at least getting the local stations, or at least stuff that's, say, within 100 miles of my area. But then again, you know, I am taking into consideration there's probably a small ferrite antenna in here, and like I said, I'm kind of in a Faraday shield. So let's go over to the weather station here, and let's see how we do good. Let's see how good we do here. Now, our local station in New York is 162.55. So let's go there.
Seas 5 to 9 feet. The offshore waters forecast for south of New England between the Great South Channel and Montauk Point, out to 1,000 fathoms. Gale warning. Today, north to northeast...
Seems to pull that in without any issue. also getting 162.4, which I don't remember where that is.
Central and northeast Pennsylvania.
So I will share with you that I've got a R7000 Zenith that's got the weather band on it, and it'll pick up 162.55, but it won't pick up 162.4 like this one will. So I would say for the Weather Channel for FM, this thing is pretty good, and I would say that AM is probably. See, that's a station that's really trying, but it just can't pull it in.
20 knots, then becoming west 15 to 25.
So, I would say radio-wise, this thing is actually pretty good. All right, next, let's take a look at this flashlight. Let's see. Here, let me put the antenna down because we're not really using the radio anymore. Okay, let's flick it over to the flashlight. And boy, that's pretty bright. And I would think with this big battery in here, that light could probably last several hours, probably along with the radio. So I would say that's a winner right there. I like that. Okay. And let's see, we turn that off. All right. Now remember, let me turn this light on so you can see the radio again. Let's put this in SOS mode and see what it does. Oh. Just the kind of thing you want to have around, I guess, if you're visiting a not so nice neighborhood, or if you are camping and you get a an unwanted critter visitor, you could probably use that to scare it away. So that's kind of cool. All right, now last thing on here is the alert. Maybe that is part of. Let me try that. Put the antenna back up and go back to the weather band, or just turn it on and see what it's going to do. Well, it doesn't look like it's really doing anything. Radio Shack used to make a weather radio that had an alert function. So whenever there was some sort of an emergency, you would receive some kind of like weird noise or whatever, and that would attract you to listen to the weather for the weather alert. And I would think that right now that, especially here, where I'm at here in central New Jersey, that we're getting ready for a storm. And I would think that something would happen here. But I'm not really quite sure how that works, so shame on me. I can't really figure that out. So, anyhow, let's start scoring things up. Okay, let's do the rating of the radio here. Playability, how well does the radio receive stations on each band? Well, kind of hate to do this, but I'm not going to give it a 5, but I'm going to give it a 4.5. And that's only because I don't think it's really any fault of the radio, but it just seems that chip radios have that kind of tuning on it. It works rather well, but I think in some of the more distant stations on the AM band, it loses some sensitivity. But the FM and the weather band, I think, work really, really well. Next to usability, ease of functions, I'm going to give that a 4.52 instead of 5. And no radio is perfect, so I'm holding this 4.5 tubes out of 5 in high regards. And the only reason why I'm not giving it a 5, and again, I don't think it's a fault of the radio, but what I would have liked to have seen in a radio like this is that if I were buying this radio, I would pay an extra maybe $5 to $8 instead of having analog tuning, to have digital tuning through a chip. And I think that would probably help out as far as the tunability and the sensitivity on AM to help to try to null things out. So I'm not really blaming the radio itself, but it's just something I'd like to see. The sound quality, I think that the sound quality in here is a 5. given the size of the radio. It actually sounds quite well. So it's the top score for the sound. Build quality. How well is it built? Well, you know, all things considered, I'll give it a 4.5 as well. I think that some of the things on here are just kind of like stickers, and like the front where all the tuning numbers and everything's are is a sticker. It's kind of pseudo cheap, but I guess that's, you know, it's all right for what it is. So it's not really a dig on the radio, but it's just how it's built. So that gets a 4.5. Ancillary functions. Okay, we're down to number 5. Functions add to the radio. I'm just going to give it a 5, and I can't really give it any more than that. I like the flashlight. It's a bright light. I like that little siren doohickey. I think that would have a lot of different functions, whether out in the wilderness or out in some of the finer parts of our country right now. And I won't name city names off the top of my score. So what would I do for an overall score? Okay, and again, 1 being poor and 5 would be a number 1. For overall score, I'm going to give this guy a 4.85 out of 5. And I would say, you know, is it worth the money for $20? Absolutely. I would say buy it. And I'm pretty fussy about stuff. I really am. But you know, you look at this thing and you kind of squint and, you know, it looks like a little cheap radio. But I think that the cheap radios are getting better. And this is a great example of this. And I think the biggest thing I like about this radio, and I'm just going to put it in parentheses next to this overall score, is the size of the battery. And that's going to mean a lot, especially if you're camping or traveling or you can't get access to a USB port to charge that battery up. I think that's just a home run, and I think it makes this radio well worth the $19.99. So, like I said, you can find these guys on Amazon. And I also want to thank the folks for EZBNB to allow me to have this radio and to do the review on. So thank you very, very much. If there's any more you want me to do in the future, I'll be glad to help you guys out. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. What I'll do is I will add a link to where you can purchase this on Amazon if you want, or take a look at it. And I hope you liked the review. I hope like I said earlier, I hope I did at least half as good as 741 would do this, or the Radio Geek. And you know, after this, go visit those channels, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They've done some ratings of radios themselves. So hopefully I've lived up to that standard. Anyway, if you like what you saw, give a thumbs up. Feel free to comment. And stay tuned, and hopefully I'll see you guys very, very soon. So take care. Bye. Stay safe.